Well, it can be really hard to talk about death and what happens when we're gone. But planning ahead is so important. And not having your affairs in order can leave behind a legal mess for loved ones. Here to talk about estate planning this morning and how we can get started is attorney and author Danielle Mayoras. Thank you so much for being here with us this morning.
Thank you so much for having me.
So just to start off, why is it so important to have a will?
Well, if you don't have a will, the state you live in has one waiting for you, which most of us don't want somebody else making our decisions of who our money goes to and how. So if you want to have control over your decisions, you need to do a will at the very least.
How old should you be to start putting a will together? Because I feel like personally I'm at the age where I'm starting to acquire equity, money, things like that, but you know, also in my 20s, I'm like, well, can't will your apartment away, right? When do you start?
I think that's a great question. Well, estate planning actually starts at the age of 18 with power of attorneys.
Really?
Because God forbid if you're in an accident, you don't want to have to go through the probate court system like we've seen what's gone on with different celebrities in the news and other loved ones we may have. So you really want to start thinking about this at the age of 18, believe it or not.
That's crazy. I'm way behind then. So, you know, but what you said too, it's, you know, I feel behind, but then there's been celebrities that have, you know, left behind millions of dollars.
It happens every single day. We've seen a lot of celebrities who have no planning whatsoever, like Prince, when he passed away, didn't even have a simple will. And that led to all sorts of complications in the court system because no one knew who he wanted to leave his money to. There were all sorts of people coming out of the woodwork. So it's always better to do the planning.
Is it ever a good idea to assume, because I guess in my situation, I kind of just assume that everything's going to go like to my mom. I don't have kids. I don't have a husband. Do you want to still plan out just in case?
Absolutely. You can never assume with our court system. I think that's a mistake a lot of people make. They think I've been married to this person for 50 years, so everything's automatically going to go to my spouse. But it actually doesn't work that way. The court sometimes has different plans for you if you don't put your wishes in writing.
And you never know what a judge is going to decide compared to what you want and what you know you want. So how do you get started then? What's the first step?
That's a great question. You want to just start by having a conversation with an estate planning attorney. And I say estate planning attorney because you really want to work with someone who specializes in this area.
How do you find a good one? How do you know the person that you're picking is the person you should be picking?
Be a good consumer, ask lots of questions as far as, you know, it's not how long they've been practicing law, but how long they've been specializing in this area and what percentage of their practice it is.
And one more question. What if you just kind of write something out yourself? Does that have to be notarized? Is that a will? Can you just do it on your own?
It depends. I don't recommend doing it on your own, no, because we've seen Aretha Franklin's estate and what's going on there. Technically, if you put it in writing, it doesn't have to be witnessed or notarized, but there's other things you need to sign and date it, you need to intend it to be a will, and it definitely is more prone to family fighting.
Well, Danielle, thank you for being here with us this morning. Definitely insightful. It's given me something to think about for sure when I get home from work. So I really appreciate you coming on the show and giving us some advice.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you.